His last time on Conqueror of Avernus, after you all managed to take down Bahamut in combat, and he rightfully granted you the power he holds, you made your way to Neverwinter. Upon meeting the god named Hel, you were led to a beautiful garden, and then everything went sideways. Turns out, Sardior's avatar was already there, hiding in plain clothes, taking advantage of a momentary lapse in Helm's judgment, which, poor Helm, he has a bit of a history for sometimes looking the other way at the wrong second. And an arrow to the back is still an arrow to the back, even if you're a god stabbed by another. Enough to wipe him out. Which spelled doom for the world around you all, abusing the power of ancient crystals left behind by the Netherese. He was able to roll the clock back quite literally, dropping something about 3 billion years. You'd never truly know because, well, they haven't actually given it to us in any form of lore that I know off the top of my head. You'd never know how far back you've gone, but everything's been wiped. The creations of the races that once dotted Faerun, gone. The land before you now an empty blank canvas, an infinite meadow, stretching out as far as the eye can see, with some mountains here and there, and since we have on the team a druid, I can flex on that for a second. As a divine being, you can sense the absolute absence of everything in this world. There is no other living creatures. The very dawn of the creation of this land. And of course, in that same instance, he revealed the potion he asked for from the gods was enough to give back memories to Rhea, who was revealed to be none other than Sardior herself. The last moments as you stepped onto this new old world, you'd find Straken standing there looking towards you, and Rhea's eyes going wide as memories overcome. And he would simply smile towards the group of you with a slight chuckle. Rhea, pulling a maneuver that you've seen used by Straken himself, is going to burn 5 feet of movement and teleport herself. Because that's always fun to be able to have omnipresence. Literally appearing directly in front of him at this portal that I have outlined with the red brick behind myself. All of these things happening in but an instance, or, you know, cutscene speed. Your character's taking it in for a brief moment. As the two of them stare at each other for a brief second, but the DM doesn't go too much into details on that stuff, you know. And he'd leave a light sigh as he casually tells Rhea that her soul is still bound to this mortal plane, unfortunately. And once he's done with it, you'll see her on the other side, but for now, she has to guard this portal from any of you entering. He's also going to look back towards the team, as the group of you are probably at this point just turning your heads towards him to glance. As he makes one casual point, adding, "Did you all know that the gods are practically unkillable, so long as something still believes in them?" That smile on his face changing to a bit of a wicked grin as he spreads his arms out slowly and says, "Who believes in them now that there is nobody? Because you all, godly as you are, don't count anymore. This is the end. This is the moment where I'm going to kill every last one of them off, and there isn't a damn thing anyone can do to stop me." And from behind yourselves, as mentioned last session, you'd feel a great rumbling forming before you as the only other living creature besides the group of you, as a mighty dragon forged entirely of obsidian practically spawns behind your characters, if we're talking video game rules here, brought into existence by sheer willpower by someone present. As you know, Sardior is the Obsidian Dragon, but here she stands in 2 forms against you. You've got a brief second, however. You all have anything to say before Strakey Boy steps through that portal, and the Dungeon Master is going to get you to roll initiative.
No matter what you do, Sardior, your dad still didn't fucking love you.
He pauses and looks towards your character, frowns a little bit, and then adds in, "Well, I guess we both have something in common, however, as now both of our fathers are gone."
But I can bring mine back.
Oh, but could you? Time's been rewound, everything's been removed, as if they never existed in the first place. And that's a Dungeon Master note. Of course, the same might be able to be said for Bahamut at this point. You guys definitely made it, so he's gone. It's a pretty fair trade. Anyone else? Oh, sorry.
I just had to get that one little dig in.
This is why he paused for a second, like, well, I guess we have something in common, asshat. Not so much a comeback as it is, yeah, up yours too. If anybody else has a closing comment as he's walking through that portal, stepping into the realm of the gods with war at his back, now's the time to speak up. Dan, you've got anything for Jade?
Not off the top of my head, no.
How about Jillian? Anything for Flux? I'm not sure if Jillian said anything yet. She might.
I haven't. Sorry.
No worries.
I wasn't sure if I was on mute or not. Look, is just so tired. She's just like, of course this is gonna fucking happen.
Just that look on her face of, I knew it. I knew this would go south.
Yeah, just.
And we're gonna say Bellamy has a similar look. She's probably looking towards Flux, back towards Strake, and then look at Flux at Strake, and jaw slack like, you know, I'll just run it like that. John, finally, for Nimbar, because you can tell I went out.
Nimbar's just like panting, like he's not in a place to do anything.
I'm too tired for quips.
Alrighty. And as we get into this final... Oh, I still have Encounter 101 Round 2 up there for Jade. Ha! That was a fun time. I know you're all badly injured, and I know you're all in a rough spot, but you know what else you're going to need to do at this point? Roll for initiative.
So we didn't even get a short rest?
Nothing at all.
That seems about right.
It's been a dredge of a gauntlet thus far as you faced off against some insane encounters, but the Dungeon Master did promise last week that he took your rests into account. He swore it, and I still do to this moment, so don't you worry none.
Oh, I forgot. We were supposed to change one of our stats to 30.
Oh, just change it on Forge. It'll take care of it for you. You save yourself a minute. And you know what? I'm going to use Endgame for this one. It's such a nice world is coming to an end theme. But the world's already come to an end at this point. I'll also roll for Bellamy to make life a little bit easier.
So...
Interesting. I set my constitution to 30, but it hasn't updated my...
It doesn't do it on Forge. Forge, you'd have to do it.
Oh, you need to do your hit point max.
Manually, yeah.
Okay.
And then... Right.
Oh my, that is a very fun combat lineup. Because I think everybody's in there correctly. And let's go ahead for Jade, before we forget, because I will forget, because I always forget, which is why I made a second turn specifically for him. We're going to go ahead and add Jade's second turn down and in. You're off the board though, as you can see, for your second turn to make life a little easier. And let me drag and drop, because you've got an 8 for that one. I'm willing to bet Jade's faster than Nimbar. So I'm not even going to check this character skis for a dexterity check on that one.
0 chance.
Place. Rhea, however, is an incredibly powerful divine being, as Sardior. And despite the powers and grants and strengths you've been given, she gets 3 initiatives against the group of you. Because, of course, they do. Her first turn, she's going to take the Oath Bow off of her back. Attune to it with a bonus action, because, well, she's divine and powerful, just like the rest of you. And with a powerful glow, she reaches a hand down as an arrow begins to form on it. And you can hear her, dolefully growling under her voice. My target is... But she doesn't finish the sentence, as you feel the ground trembling beneath her feet, as she seems to be pouring power into the bow. As for the obsidian dragon standing behind the group of you, unlike many that would rush into flight, this one instead moves to the south as a mighty cone of blackened energy begins to form in its mouth. And with a deafening scream, it's going to release a breathe weapon upon the party that cracks and crackles the ground as it flies out. A whopping 300 feet, though the cone's not that big. I will need a strength savings throw from the entire party on this one.
I fail. I have a strength score of 3. There is 0 chance I can pass.
Yeah, you get negatives to that check, for God's sakes. Poor Nimbar.
Yep.
Like, there's no way it's an under 20. Like,
Right. Okay. So
And I mean, of course, Jillian has passed with a 28. Flux just, lifts the world up on one shoulder, Atlas style, some days. Jade has failed with a 7.
Question. Right. I am currently an Emerald Dragon, but I've used the dragon's ability to be in a human form. So, what strength score do I use? Because I'm...
It depends on the shape change, how it's worded.
Because with shape change, so the druid's wild shape, I use the physical stats of the creature, but I don't think they ever accounted for the creature you wild shape into to also be able to change shape. So I don't know.
You retain any benefits and features of your class, race, or other source, and can use them, provided your new form is specifically capable of doing so. The argument then becomes you're not allowed to use the legendary resistances or actions of the new form, but you're able to use your old one, so I'll let it go. You can use your legendary reaction if you want to resist that.
Well, no, it's not the resist. I just mean like the do I do Alex strength or the dragon strength?
Your statistics are replaced by the statistics of the chosen creature. Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma score still matches your dragon form, which would match your regular form anyway, I think. So, yeah, you still use your human strength for that one. Since you have those statistics of the form that you took on. Meanwhile, Dean's like, damn it.
So, cause I'm a dragon, but the dragon's Alex now, I use Alex.
Exactly. If your dragon form has proficiency with strength-based checks, though, you can get the proficiency added on, because you're stacking so many different things.
It was more just a question, because the dragon's naturally stronger than Alex, so that's why I was asking. So I think this will fail.
Oh, that 17 was looking nice, though. But a 9 is a fail, unfortunately. So we've got 2 fails on the board, and Nimbar's another fail for 3. And you know what? I'll roll for Bellamy. She gets a 13, so she also fails. So besides Flux, the rest of you have been struck by a darkened breathe weapon of solid void energy, which has weakened you. As you failed, you have disadvantage now on strength-based attack rolls, strength checks, and strength saving throws. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. But the group of you are all now weakened, so I'm just going to add a little down arrow to the top of your character, as that's actually weakened.
How long does that last?
Oops, sorry, Julian, that wasn't supposed to be on you. It lasts for an indefinite period of time. Haha.
Neat. Cool.
I guess
I'm never over it.
Fun. It could be the rest of your character's existence, but as you know, with most of these things, it is temporary, but long enough to last the length of a fight and require the saves. Unless the fight is epically long.
Well, it doesn't matter. It literally, no matter what if it's the maximum duration, that is how long I am affected.
Yep. You don't have much of an odd of passing that one. So
I have a 0% because I get a -3 to my strength save.
Do you have a -% chance then?
Bellamy's gonna upcast a guiding bolt at 5th level. She's gonna say, screw it. There's no way an obsidian dragon is going to be immune to radiant damage, right? And I'm just gonna throw out the attack roll for everybody to see as it soars through the air, and a 22 is enough to chip into the incredible hide on that dragon. For a whopping 25 points. Did that do it correctly? 4d6 plus 1d6 for each level above first. 8d6, 25 points of damage as he carves into the hide of the mighty obsidian dragon. Bellamy is also going to jump back to about here, keeping balance between herself and Ray and the rest of the team. Jade's turn up next. I'm just being quick with Courtney's turn. I don't think anybody minds.
Yep, that's cool.
So the guiding bolt looked like it did damage?
Yep. Lightsaber time.
Yeah, lightsaber time. I'm just debating on which way I want. I'll just write out.
I purposely inflated the size of this creature's mini so that it gets a better idea. So you go ahead and give Moonlight a swing. 21, unfortunately, is a miss.
You have advantage because of guiding bolt.
Oh, right, Guiding Bolt gives you advantage. Swing again! I mean, I think I just gave away its armor class, though. 34 is a hit. You've got an ally within 5 feet. You know what to do. "31 points of damage from the Moonblade itself, or Moonlight itself. Next up with Sneak Attack on top for a further 29 points of damage. Carving, but only leaving the obsidian monster only barely injured as it looms above you. Anything else for Jade's turn?
Last session when we got Bahamut's power, you said we got to pick the class feature and it was ours.
Yep.
Is that in effect now?
Oh yeah. That's
okay.
immediate.
Then I will bonus action attack again.
Alright, you get another stab.
Yeah, I took the Scout's ability. As a bonus action, I can attack again. And if it's a different target, I can sneak attack again.
Ooh, that's handy. Don't stab your friends. Now this one would be a straight shot, mind you. You wouldn't get advantage on the swing. But 32 is still a hit, so go ahead and roll up that extra sweet damage. Moonlight hits like a tank. 34 further points shaved off, as you've cleaved a good chunk of its health away, leaving him still looking barely injured, however. Anything else for Jade's turn?
No.
Alrighty, next up in the list, Flux is up next, standing toe-to-toe with this gargantuan dragon.
Okay. Bonus action, I'm gonna drop my shield. I'll go.
Should have moved.
Okay, I will.
Now keep in
Wait,
mind
that's in the square.
Yep.
I know. Yeah, I know. All right.
Now that's 35 feet to get to that point from where you are.
I have 35 feet.
Perfect.
Thanks to Lulu.
Yep, level 20 is a wonky thing, so I just basically say That's this far. I don't say, hey, you can't do that, because I'm not that dumb. Jade has taught me never to say that.
Am I flanking with anyone from that
Yeah.
position?
You got it with Jade.
And doesn't everybody have like a 60-foot fly speed or something?
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that fly speed. 37's a whack as you slice from behind. As is a 29. As is a 28. As is a 37. So you go ahead and roll your damage on those. For 37, or let me see, 36, 38, 32, and 36. Anything else for Flux's turn, as you've left the Obsidian Dragon looking quite injured with the stacked damages.
Yeah, no, I can't do anything else. I don't have a bonus action left.
Alright. Rhea's second turn up next, as you see the ground beneath her feet beginning to crack. Sheer energy seems to be flowing from her form as she grips tightly on the Oath Bow. The Oath Bow itself even beginning to crack from the sheer strength and pressure of this beam, as she again repeats her targeting. Charging even more strength into it. You get the feeling that whatever gets hit by this arrow is gonna have a bad day, if not be outright killed. Alec's turn up next.
I'll start by using my bonus action to revert form back into the Emerald Dragon.
116 out of 207. Alright, give me 1 second.
No, that's right.
Oh, it's two separate characters though, so you're at initiative order 11. Let me just... Oops,
Oh,
wrong one.
right. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the health. I'm still that hurt.
Changes your initiative order to 15, but it puts you in the right slot, and that's what's important here.
Right.
Your character looks like a lizard underneath this massive shadow set by the Obsidian Dragon.
I'm a Lizard King. What are the chances? What do you guys think the chances of human Rhea being like fire immune or fire resistant just now?
She is. She was before, wasn't she? No, never mind. She wasn't. I don't know. She wasn't before. It was actually Radiant I was thinking of.
Yeah, because she's different now. So I'm trying. I think was it? She was like an Azamar, was she not? Was it like?
No, she was
Radiant?
human, but she had like Radiant and Necrotic due to the sort of Sardior.
Because Zariel took over her body, some of the angelic features were left behind when she reverted back to Rhea. That's where a bunch of her stuff comes from.
Or maybe those were her own powers beginning to leak out of her form.
Do.
Your birds. However, she also didn't have the power to throw such energy into an oath bow prior. So
I'm thinking of like trying to. No, I don't think it will do anything for the shot. I was gonna use Wall of Fire, just was thinking of just like forgetting about that problem for now and just putting like a wall of fire there. But fire resistance is very common, so I'm not sure. I'll try it anyway.
Dropping a wall of fire on top of her?
Yeah, like just the 20 foot. Yeah. Yeah, like in the I guess on the like the it says it's a foot thick, so I guess it would be like in the outside edge of this box, so she's like behind it.
Alrighty. If
that makes sense.
If you drop the spell, does it give you the template? Here. Let me see here. Damn it, you're in the wrong form for that. Let me grab your other token. Spellbook. Damn it, you have too many spells. What the hell? Too many spell. Emotional damage. You should be like Cousin Timmy. He only have one spell. Magic missile. Kill God with it. There we go.
Those are fun.
There we go. I got a measure template now. You're gonna drop it right here, and I bet you look pretty. It does
Those
look
are
pretty.
Atrocious damage rolls. 2, 1, 3, 3, 8.
Alrighty. Well, she fails her save and chooses not to soak up the damage from it, taking the full 17 on the chin.
And then I'm gonna I guess just stand right in front of her, box her in. It's better that way, yeah. So I'll probably get a swipe from the obsidian dragon as I move.
Oh, definitely. What's your character's armor class? As you start to fly out of its range.
Something dreadful as a huge 18 as a emerald dragon.
You are struck by a claw swiping out that catches around your character's throat, grappling you, in fact. So you're unable to move forward towards Rhea. With its incredible reach, it's got no trouble doing it, so you'd still be at whatever spot you're in. You also take 15 points of slashing damage. Is that half seed right now for you?
Yeah, I'm in my star form, so that would be.
And let me make sure your
half down to 7.
That's better. So you've been grappled, unfortunately unable to move closer to Rhea, who stands in the middle of the wall of fire, not even twitching, though the flame definitely burns her and you can see the damage.
That's me used everything.
Alrighty. At the end of your turn, Jade is up next, but before your turn comes to an end, I'm going to need dex saves from everybody. Except Alec, you're grappled, and you're out of range. When I say everybody, I mean Jade, Nimbar, and Flux. As the dragon uses 2 points of legendary action to beat its mighty wings down. Nimbar has failed with a 21 and is knocked prone. And I'll roll damage for you in a second on that.
Sorry, I was reading something. Do I roll? Am I rolling a save?
Dex save, yep.
Okay.
Jade has passed. Flux has failed.
I'm going to do a wheel.
Okay.
On
Flux.
Yeah, I was thinking I could try Nimbar, but even if you're standing, I think your AC is still.
Yeah, I think it makes most sense for Flux.
I tossed 22 points of damage on Nimbar.
So I make Flux's save a 23. If that changes anything.
23 is still a miss, as Flux is also knocked prone, taking 22 points of damage from the Obsidian Dragon as well.
I'll try an Indomitable roll.
Alright, you give that a swipe. I'm gonna undo that 22 points of damage. I tried to, it wouldn't let me. I'll just give you 22 points of healing. 28, however, is a pass, and you are unaffected. The dragon itself rises 20 feet into the air. Oh, nuts. It's giving me the stupid glitch again, and I can't actually type anything. I don't know why it does that. It's like suddenly it considers to have a right-click window open for putting stuff. Oh, I know what the issue is here. Let me guess. That character? There we go. Ah, frig it. It's 20 feet in the air. Foundry's glitching, and every time I type a height in, it starts adding on counters. Not sure what mod is causing that trouble in this campaign, but...
Oh, I forgot to say what dragon form. No, not what dragon form. What star form I'm in. Start my turn. I'm in the dragon constellation.
Alright.
Star form. Too many forms.
Now, as the dragon breaks out of range of everyone, you're all more than welcome to take an attack of opportunity for sure. Numbar's using Shocking Grasp.
Do I have disadvantage or not?
You are prone and making a ranged attack. Oh no, that's a touch.
No, melee. Yeah.
I think you're at disadvantage for attacking from prone. Just a second.
Yeah, sorry. I forget the wording on prone.
Ooh, Flex gets a 20. Yeah, you have disadvantage on all attack rolls that you make while prone. 43 points as you slice through the dragon's hide.
Its movement speed is reduced by 10. I don't know if it matters. And it has disadvantage on all the attacks, I think.
Alright.
Let me double check.
Oh,
Until the start of my next turn.
You're a mad slasher.
As a slasher.
It all adds up.
You score a critical hit, deal slashing damage, you grievously wound it. Until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls. I do think I'm going to take improved critical.
Alrighty.
Mine. Kind of forgot about it, I'm going to be honest, but...
By all means, you can grab that. You would have had a few crits so far because you rolled a lot of 19s, but...
Well, I didn't say it, so that's on me.
And I am the lazy.
I'll accept that.
I am.
Yep, that's fine.
As Jade's next turn then, at this point.
Oh, and sorry, mine is Chronal Shift, by the way.
Alrighty.
My feature that attack. Just in case you need to know.
By all means, you can have it. And I'm trying to try and copy paste. Yay, that works. Can't type the numbers in, but I can copy paste. So, Jade's turn at this point.
I'll move up and attack.
Alright. Jade launches 20 feet into the air, coming eye to eye with the dragon. However, keep in mind, you have no allies within range on this creature. You can give yourself advantage, you can still get that sneak attack on there. Or you can take a ready action for someone else to get in range, and then you can swipe and get advantage to get yourself. You know what I'm getting at here, Dan. You know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Did he drag me up? Because I'm grappled.
Yeah, he's grappled, so he's within 5 feet.
You would have went 20 feet up into the air. He's only within 10 feet, though. I don't think grapple moves you closer to the grappler. You just move with them. So you would move 20 feet vertically.
Oh, right. I see. It's the 5 feet thing.
So very odd when you have reach and grapple on auto clicks. One of the few times it turns out to be extra advantageous. But if you're gonna give it to anyone, the dragons to get that, it's kinda nice. The mighty beast is looming, Jade.
Sounds like Madison disagrees.
Yep, poor Addie. She's leaning over like, hey, no. Cut them some slack. They've already like fought 7 gold dragons, 2 super duper dragons, and a Tarask. Just now you threw the obsidian dragon. That thing was banned from D&D. Banned.
I don't think it's nice at all, Papa.
Nope. So Dan, Jade's still got some options and abilities left. It's however you want to run it for that guy now. Though I will warn the party after Nimbar's turn, Rhea Dragon for turn order.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of moving up, then I'll do it differently so I can get sneak attack.
Ooh. Oh, you're gonna use that Moonblade special power?
Yeah, I'm gonna blow a charge on Moonblade and hurl the blade, but I'm going to bonus action speed 0 so that I have advantage on the hit.
Alright, you go ahead and swing with advantage. .35's a hit like a boomerang. You let the damage fly on that one. 26 points plus your sneak attack. 35 points for the sneak. As the dragon's looking badly injured, but she is still flying. Anything else for Jade's turn?
No, that was everything.
Alrighty. After carving out a good 3/4 of its life, we roll over to Nimbar.
Before he starts, because I missed it on my first turn and my second turn, wasn't I supposed to be making strength saves?
Oh yeah, you were weakened. I forgot about that. You go ahead and you roll 2 checks, one after the other, to see if you fail. If you pass, you don't have to roll. You know what I mean. You get 2 checks to see if you overcome.
Yeah. But am I at disadvantage because of weakened?
I believe you may actually be. Let me see here. It's a very unused breath. Yep, strength saving throws, you have disadvantage, so you would be swinging with disadvantage on the save. And 9 is unfortunately a fail on that one. And an 8 is unfortunately a fail on that one, as it holds out. Fortunately, your character is dexterity based, so it's only an inconvenience for Jade. This is a good thing. Anything else for the resident Tabaxi, sir? Oh,
No.
You've already skipped forward on the turn order. Alright, John, Nimbar's turn is up next as the obsidian dragon floats above you.
For the record, did it take the full damage for the shocking grasp, the lightning damage?
You think it might have?
Okay. And then I'm going to Toll the Dead, but I'm going to use lightning.
Alright. So
And I'm also going to sit.
ooh, 29 DC check. Let's see if they can pass. Oh my. The dragon decides, yes, I will pass. Even Sadness Chan comes in like, DM, what the hell? What the hell? Emotional damage, Dungeon Master. It's going to be today's quote, by the way. Uncle Roger's the best. I love the guy. His stuff is so funny. And he seems like a nice person.
That'll be my turn. I don't believe it was Uncle Roger who started the emotional damage, actually.
Probably not him, but he definitely rides it every time he can with the character.
Yeah.
I think as far as Addison's concerned, it was. Alright, so that's going to be it then for your turn, though, right, John?
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Rhea, and the Obsidian Dragon. As the ground continues to tremble and tear under Rhea's feet, the bow continuing to crack as she charges even more great energy. Then she readies it for a shot. However, we get to the dragon's turn before that happens, as it's going to rise itself up. What's up?
The wall of fire. She'll if she's not moving, she'll take some more damage from the wall.
You roll it. She's not taking a step. I had her pose like Sephiroth. She's sticking with the Sephiroth pose.
Yeah. So she just would she make another? It says she makes a save when the wall appears, but I think she might just take the damage.
I think it says when it appears. Let me see here. Because I think it's a save, but she gets basically hit again and again every time you're through it, because it becomes a painful, difficult to rail.
I mean, the second paragraph, I think if she chooses to stay there, she just takes it. There's no save.
When it appears, they make the dex save so that you don't get stuck with the ruling for all of this annoying stuff. You know how it works for all these, like web and stuff like that. So, she automatically takes it when you start your turn there, or ends its turn, or enters it or ends their turn in the wall. So at the end of their turn, you go ahead and roll that damage again, because she's not moving.
Okay, come on. That's better.
"26 points of damage Rhea tanks on the chin." Actually, she'd get that twice, so you go ahead and roll the damage up a second time, because she gets 2 turns in a row.
Ah, okay.
The downside to moving faster than the speed of turn. Striking out for another 22 points, but Rhea's still standing. That dragon, however, it's flying, and it's gonna rise up a grand total of 60 feet, even cut in half while carrying Alec in one hand. As its mouth...
Is it also reduced by 10?
50... Wait. That would be reduced by further, because it becomes that 55 feet into the air. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to make sure that I remember the feature, because I often forget.
DM's like 60 feet, Jillian's like math, and I'm like 55 feet. It's a good one. It comes in very handy a few times throughout the campaign. I've had bad guys about to get out, and then it's like, now you're 10 feet slower, and I'm like, where they're not, they can't retreat. Shit, they're gonna fight to the death. This dragon, however, is going to float high in the sky as its mouth begins to twitch with a horrendous breathe weapon that sends a shiver up your character's spines, because being that high in the air means it's going to tag everything on the battlefield, and the very air seems to crackle in pain from the strength of the attack. However, that attack never comes. As your eyes look towards the sky, what you see is the dragon turning into dust on the air, as if slowly disappearing and fading like smoke. And a glance towards Rhea, you'd see that she releases the arrow slowly as it disappears in one hand, and she sinks down onto 2 knees. And in those brief instants, you hear a soft voice speaking out as she tells you, "Just go."
You're still you?
Rhea gives her head a bit of a shake, lets the bow fall to the ground at her feet. And I'm assuming no one's taking combat strikes at her anymore. She's not.
I'll dismiss the fire.
With the portal
Revert back.
crackling behind her, Rhea gives a shake of her head. "How could we ever put a burden like that on someone's shoulders? Please, just go.
I can't fight against both of you. I can't take on either side.
Nimber's gonna walk over and hug her one last time.
Rhea, who is of course starting to tear up a little bit, returns the hug. But she doesn't
It's okay,
stand up.
my child. It's okay, my child. We will deal with this. He's one last hug, and then he will step through the portal.
And Rhea doesn't stop Nimbar. She allows him to walk through. Anyone else looking to get by, you're not going to have much of a stopping ground. It may have turned out differently. If your characters hadn't been righteous, practically every step of the way. Any decision you ever had to make, anytime I threw at you the tough choice, or the easy path with bad outcomes that didn't really affect you but would affect the greater world, you always took the tough choice. And it's turned at least one heart in your favor, as Sardior will not block your path.
Alec is when he's back in his human form, will kneel down beside him, put his hand on her shoulder. Sorry about the fire. I hoped that we wouldn't have to finish this fight. I always believed in you, kid.
She's gonna give your character a pat on the hand with hers. But that look of sadness doesn't leave her face.
Is there anything that I can do before we go?
And then she gives her head a slow shake, looking up towards you and the other group of players as you're all stepping through.
It's probably impossible, too much to ask and too far gone. But if you can, please try and save him. The weight we've put on his shoulders, what we've asked of him, for him to save and for him to step out, it's too much.
I'll try, but he's already slit all our throats before. I don't know if there's any reaching him. Yeah, I think Alec will hand her a bottle of whiskey and go through the portal.
Since Jade has the perception of a devil, and so does Alec, don't get me wrong, but with all those strange shape-changing forms and all that, your character might not be paying enough attention. But Jade's certainly going to notice as everyone's walking towards this portal that the edges of the world around you, where you could once see mountains moving closer, where you could see clouds and stars above your head, are now winking out, disappearing, and the land receding back towards you. Just like Avernus, this plane of existence is collapsing. I'm sure if Courtney was here, she'd have something awesome for Bellamy to say towards Rhea. Give one hug, maybe blubber something out with tears. She always has fun playing it up, so we'll leave that to people's imaginations, and maybe Courtney will tell us sometime when she's playing what happened in that scene. But Rhea, crushed by the weight, of protecting two worlds that she cares for so dearly, couldn't make a choice between the two, and last up, Dan. Jade would be approaching, of course. Assuming your character's walking through that portal, because...
Oh, yeah.
Any final words to Rhea as you walk through?
I'm sure the character Jade has something to say, but it's escaping me right now.
That's fair. If you ever get something you want to have for your character to have said, by all means, you could have those passing words.
But because she's a friend, I think Jade would be more likely to, try and take her with us because he realizes the world is collapsing.
One thing to note for her as you try. Rhea would admit at this point.
No more. I don't want to fight anymore. I've lived so many lives not even knowing who I am. Time and time and time again fighting for worlds I don't believe in. No more fighting.
You don't have to fight. You just have to drink with us after it's all done.
Unfortunately, whatever joy burned through her heart has all but been wiped at this point. Left with the impossible decision of helping you guys against the one person in this world she loves the most. Or helping them against the one group of people she trusts the most. It's not a decision anyone should have to make. She does give your character a pat on the hand, though, as she appreciates it and gives you one last small smile. And tells you, rather casually,
Do better than we did. I don't know if there's a way to fix all of this anymore. I don't know if we're too far gone. But if anyone has any chance of saving any of it, I truly believe you five are the ones.
Flux will just try to get her up before she leaves. Just say, on your feet, soldier. Just kind of try to help her up.
there's not much strength under her legs, though you do manage to bring her up. But those spirits, you can tell, not something that can be lifted so easily.
I'll turn her toward the portal and give her a kiss on the forehead and just say, "You're so brave." And then I'll just leave.
And as you all slowly step through the portal, you see Rhea standing, looking towards the party, tears still in her eyes. As the composure she has left begins to break and they start to fall. But you don't get to see too much of it. That proud, strong warrior, giving into emotion for a brief moment in the instance, before the world behind you itself evaporates away. You all might be wondering, what's on the other side of this portal? What is in the realm of the gods? I, however, think it'd be a great time for us to take our usual 15-minute break before we jump into that part. You guys can see the break screen that I use for once, too.
Perfect.
I love it. All explodey and dangerous and etc. But I am going to have to quickly remove the obsidian dragon out because I accidentally didn't, and it still has a boss bar on top. There we go.
Oh, man.
Alrighty. So that's a good spot. I'll see y'all in 15 minutes then.
See ya.
Yeah.
as you all step through that wonderful portal. You might be shocked to see the sheer level of devastation to what was once such a beautiful place. As it would seem in half a minute, because battle's only 6 seconds around, and your final conversations with your dear friend Rhea would not have taken too long as you walked through that portal. But it only took half a minute. This area, though once beautiful, and I have a great picture that I'm going to load up. It's just taking a second. There we are. The realm of the gods itself, an unbelievably beautiful place of pristine design, crystalline features, and the remnants of a grand battle raged across it. The ground cracked and broken, walls burned away, and you can't seem to find very many people, if any, who've survived. It looks as though war went down here, like considerably longer than 30 seconds, and the area's been devastated. However, at a convergence of stairs leading off and onward in odd directions, where a golden silver circular orb sits, you can see one god lying among the wreckage, their back propped up against a wall. Though
Do
she's...
we recognize?
Oh yeah, definitely. Sorry. I did a too long of a dramatic pause. Though seriously injured, leaning back, breathing heavy, and with a burn mark covering the eyes of their face, you still certainly recognize the goddess of magic, Mystra. Beyond that, though, dozens of forms lie crippled and destroyed around you for those who survived. Some bodies turned to stone, some outright to ash and cinder. As it seems the realm of the gods has been absolutely devastated. But nowhere in here do you see, feel, or sense Sardior.
Nimbar will rush over to Mystra, see what he can do to help.
He's got little legs, though. Anybody gonna outrun him? Sorry, had to sneak one past you.
Probably.
No, absolutely.
Maybe skip him along the way.
And as you're making your way there... Oh, and poor Nimbar, he's so worn out, wasted, exhausted, and weakened. For only a minute, that lasts, by the way. It'll be wearing off shortly. She'd extend out a hand as a bolt of thunder breaks through the sky and lightning crashes in front of your feet. A small crater made, but by some miracle of the god, it didn't strike you. As she screams back, you monster.
No. It's us, Alec, Nimbar, Flux, Jade, Bellamy.
And her hand, though shaky, slowly drops to her side, her breathing labored, and a smile on her face as she gives a soft...
I'll be right back. I'm on a hunt for a boo-boo.
Yeah, sure thing. Jesus. No boo, I'm for a boo-boo. Sorry, that got me.
What a boo-boo?
I got a yogi. I love children. They're a fun time for all those sort of things. But rushing out. Oh, 1 second. My phone just...
All right, sorry about that. I'm back.
Sorry, I'm back too. Just my phone whipping at me. She does slowly lower the hand. I'm gonna say Bellamy jumped about 10 feet back, like, oh no. She thought she was like, did I pray to the gods? I don't think I did that godly prayer move of mine today. No, okay, we're good. But she does relent on her attack against you. Severely injured as she is, and you can see a familiar effect taking place. Because Nimbar rushing right up, and anyone else coming close, you would see the worst. As that horrendous void energy seems to be in a crippling wound left behind in her chest, crackling and breaking. Though she has a considerable bit of time left to suffer, it would seem. Her time is numbered. A matter of days, maybe weeks at the most, before she'd crumble away to nothing.
I don't suppose you've got any tricks to come back from this one, Mistra?
Mistra's looking up, chuckles softly and coughs and shakes her head. She admits that she is surprised that it's the group of you standing here at this moment. That you are the ones to survive, of anyone to make it through. Of course it would be you five. As she admits that no, he came, tore through their defenses. Without the faith and strength of their believers, they could barely stand against him, and with the weave, now but a memory, her power was all that was remained true to stand against him. And, as she admits, you remember Baldur's Gate. She was already so badly injured from that fight that this was not the scene of a battle, but of a massacre.
Where did they go?
She coughs up a little blood at this point, straightening herself up, and you get a good view at her face, and you can see the imprint of a hand wrapped around her eyes, leaving that burn mark that she's been left with. As she chuckles and says, well, I can't see which way he went anymore, but I know where he's gone. He left me behind to watch the world burn away, and stole my sight even so that I could not. But he has used this defoulment of time and space to roll the world back, to destroy all of creation down to a singular moment, to where it's splintered off. He's returned to the first world, to grasp the very power of creation. As she waves a hand in air, and you see appearing before you what looks like a portal, but is little more than essentially a fancy looking glass floating in the air before you all, a vision that you can see to another realm, as she confirms that he's gone to the first world to obtain the power of creation. Standing in a gigantic white space, with hands held high above his head towards a sphere 15, 20, 25 radius feet, pulsating and throbbing above him as the ground crackles. You notice something very interesting, however. Might take you a second or two, but everybody give me a perception check as you stare at this display. Alec with that big 31. Dirty turty. Look at that. Very nice. Even on a 9. You beat Jade. That's the thing, because you both pretty much roll the same. And it's always fun because, Dan, let's be honest, you own skill checks at this level. To Flux's keen eyes, and same for Jade, something seems amiss staring at the picture. Nimbar, with a 9, thinks it's a nice picture. I'm not actually sure if Courtney has much. Let me take a peek at her character for perception to win on this one. Actually, I'll spare the roll. Alec has one with a 31. Staring at the image, you can tell that it is not moving in real time. He is moving so exceedingly slowly. At first, you just thought he was completely still. But you notice the twitching of the eyes as he blinks, how very slowly the eyelids move. What should take an instant seems to be taking an eternity.
Why is it taking so long? Number one. Or I suppose I don't notice.
That's fair, John. That's fair. Most info is given right away to the party, but in situations like this.
I wonder if it's got something to him going back before time. Time would need to be created. Maybe that takes a while.
Mystra gives a slow shake of her head, extending out a blind hand as it seems even her very true sight as a god was removed, placing it eventually on Alec's shoulder after a little bit of wobbling as she admits towards you that no, that is not quite the case. What you are seeing is the effect of our godly realm. He may have offset in one small step which may yet be his undoing. Time flows slower outside of this realm. A day here is about 6 seconds there. What you are seeing is time moving by at a snail's pace.
How long? Do you know how long we have?
Mystra gives a shake of her head and admits that at this point, time is running low, and there's another problem to be had. Surely, it'll take him a couple minutes at least to cast such a powerful ability to grasp hold of creation with his raw strength. But she admits, I'm able to pierce that barrier from this world to theirs. With my power, I can send you there. But, she gives a frown, I doubt it will help. I've only got the strength to send one of you at a time. And I'll need at least the day to rest.
So, go on one by one.
The last time he cut you down, you were but mortals, and now you're stronger than most of the gods I've met in my life and in my existences. But even then, this is Sardior, and I fear no other creation has ever been stronger. And though the wizards and others might be asking if there's any way that they can help boost that strength, increase it with all their own divine might, it's unfortunately not something that's possible. Hope's not lost, however, she adds, as she sits back down slowly, nursing her wounds and pointing towards the image on this wall that she's made with her magic. You don't need to defeat the monster. You just have to break his concentration. If you can free that power of creation from his grasp that he has circumvented, I will be able to reach out and obtain it. And with it, I could fix everything.
And what would happen to Sardior if he did that?
With that, the world would be set back to the way it should be, and I would once more seal him away in the void between worlds, to rebuild the multiverse, as it were, with the power that he has stolen.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad someone else has a plan for a change.
Everything has been very reactionary up to this point, admittedly. But now, well, if anyone had a plan, it'd be Mystra. If anyone could send you to the first world, it'd be Mystra. But that's one heck of a catch, isn't it? You have to break his concentration on the ability he's using. And John, you can explain how hard it would be to do that for somebody against Nimbar. Could you imagine for Sardior?
We just have to do a lot of damage. It'll be fine.
But only one character can go, essentially per round. The rest of you get to stack long rests repeatedly, which also means you can stack abilities and powers and spells. But rest assured, you can probably guess the status of the first couple players who go in on this one.
Not healthy by the time the rest of the party gets in.
Yeah. I can't be the first one because I need a long rest.
Here's one small
Yeah, I would
bonus that I'm going to give to the team as a mention, though, because I just heard Jillian's like, Flux is in. She's like slamming the hand down. We got to do this. However,
Yeah.
you do have time to take a long rest before you even start this venture. Probably 2 or 3 long rests. Only 6 seconds passes in the original one world. And he needs a few minutes anyway to finish doing what he's doing, to finish taking control of that power.
Honestly, I only need a short rest. And I could go back in.
Damn fighters.
So I could just keep hacking away while you guys rest up.
You go in first. You probably do the most damage by yourself. After that, I would say
Jade
or myself, because that would give me a chance for a long rest, right?
The other thing to keep in mind is this is Sardior. Last time you fought him as mortals, he got 7 turns to year 1. You've certainly stepped up a few times in strength since, but he was able to decimate the gods solo.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but I just mean, like, I don't need as much rest as you guys do.
Oh, definitely.
I would, as soon as I have a short rest, I could go back in.
The fighters,
I don't know if that's useful or if it's reckless, but I'm just saying it's a thing I could do.
The only implication I'm basically hinting towards is whoever goes first is probably not going to survive.
Right. So it's just so I got this right in my head. We're not going in and coming back. We're going in and we're staying there.
Yeah.
Until the entire party's there.
Yeah.
I mean,
She also makes a note that if you should break his concentration, to get as far away as you can, as the explosion that will leave from that much power of creation combined in one place, is going to decimate anything within 100 feet of it. Anything within 500 is going to take some damage, but anything within 100 feet probably won't survive.
I mean, if you need a punch bag just to go in there and keep his attention till the rest of you get there. I'm one hell of a target. Well, should we hit the long rest button? Just for just to get that out of the way and then work on our plan.
John's probably thinking, please. Poor guy. Those spells, man, kicked your butt. But you can all definitely take a long rest as you sit there for the day. Unless, Jillian, you want to have Flux jump in on this immediately. And then the team takes their long rest, and then next day, player number 2, and then next day, player number 3. You know what I mean? You want to jump in on it right away, you certainly can.
Well, I don't necessarily want to, but if you guys think it would be useful, I would do it. That's basically my big thing.
Alternately, if you all get in a long rest, and then Jillian says, alright, I'm gonna jump in. John could cast Haste, Dean could cast Guidance, Bless could be dropped by Bellamy, etc., etc. You could stack your bonuses, since you have continual times to rest after you send someone off.
The problem is with, like, Haste, it's a concentration spell.
Oh, right, yes, concentrations are bad examples. Sorry, don't mind me.
Yeah, it gets a bit wobbly because we concentrate on it for a minute. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so our minute would be not even around.
I don't think there's a. I think Flux should have at least one long rest for like your Indomitable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would also reset all your boons if you've used any of them.
Yeah.
I think
So I think we should all get at least one night's sleep because we must be close to like being exhausted now as well.
Godly beings, as you've come to realize, no longer require rest. You can still suffer from the exhaustion if something imposes it on you, but from not sleeping, you don't get exhausted. Not that that really matters at this point in the game. But you know, I'll tip my hat that you all you don't get tired.
Okay.
A long rest, though, still gives you back features and powers and abilities and health, and helps to cure Nimbar, because he's gotten pretty... That wish spell, man. That wish spell.
Oh, another thing we could do since we have so much time, we could get a clone. It'd be useful for like one action. No, because then it would take forever for it to join us.
Oh, like a simulacrum or something?
Yeah.
John, what would your character do if they had to fight one?
Dispel it right away.
And sorry, Dan, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, if we were looking for, like, health pool, couldn't we just simulacrum Dean while he was in dragon form? But then we said the dispel thing.
Yeah. So realistically, what we could do is cast Simulacrum on Nimbar for one extra 9th level spell.
Also, my base form now has more HP than some of my dragon's forms.
How much HP do you have?
303.
Nice.
I set my con to 30. Just
me too. Me too.
You know, yeah, I get hit a lot. I'm just reading over the language Hero's Feast here, and I'm not sure if we get much benefit from it in our current state of being. Several benefits: cured of all disease and poison, immunity to poison and being frightened. All wisdom saving throws makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. hit points max is increased by 2d10. Is that something you would want? Being immune, are we already immune to frighten?
Well,
As gods?
Flux is.
Alright, Flux is. So I mean, I could cast that. Before anyone steps in.
Well,
Oh no, wait, but would that work? Right, I thought it was longer than an hour. Wait, no, the benefits last for 24 hours. How would that work?
1 round.
for those of you sitting here after eating the meal, it's going to be tasty. You're waiting a full day in the godly realms. For the player who goes in there, well, it lasts for 24 hours, so it lasts for 24 hours in the other realm. You have to burn through the time based on the realm that you're in. But if your character is also killed, you're going to lose the effect of a lot of these things. So, things to keep in mind.
I'm just looking at spells that I should swap out. I don't think we're going to need transport via plants because there's no plants.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You all also have the strategic advantage that after whoever goes first, you get to see him in combat.
We also have the option, if anyone wants it, of true polymorph. If a different form you think would survive better.
What's the limits on that? Could you true polymorph into, say, a Sardior?
Has to do with your level limits.
Yeah. It's tricky. Right, well, who should we send in first? We're thinking Flux.
Yeah.
If we send Flux in first, then we'd probably need to send in someone who could heal her because she'll have taken a beating.
I have a question on how this works. So, if we send in Flux first, I cast Foresight on her. It lasts for up to 8 hours.
So long as it's not a concentration spell, it affects her in her realm and lasts 8 hours for her.
Okay, so I could cast that on each person to go in before me.
Yeah? I mean, there's nothing precluding them from having the two of them cast. If you had two characters before you right now, you cast one, then on the other, they'd be floating with two of them anyway, right?
Yeah, but what more or less like
without burning any slots, yeah.
Yeah. So I could cast it on each person without burning a slot.
And which spell is that one?
Foresight. It's a 9th level spell.
Ah, yeah.
Its duration's 8 hours. And then you touch a willing creature, bestow limited ability to see the immediate future. For the duration, can't be surprised. Has advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws.
Yep.
Additionally, other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target for the duration. This spell immediate ends if you cast it again before its duration ends.
Yeah, fair. It's a boof. You can use it.
But based off that, I can only cast it on one person. That last line.
Let's see here.
I can cast Foresight as well, but I need to choose between that and shape change.
Well, you do it on the first. You do it for the one person,
Mhm.
and then the next day you get to choose shape change, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would need to go in there sooner rather than later so I could heal people.
Yeah, but
Well, then
all right,
you do the first foresight, and
Yeah.
then you wait for your long rest, because you're going to get another long rest before another person can be sent in.
Yeah.
Then after your long rest, you can do shape change, and then you can go in for healing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I can also I would be able to cast it, say, on you because you're, and then so
And
yeah,
then
we
your
could-
simulacrum can cast it on someone else.
No.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I see how this.
You're
Right.
starting to see our madness, right?
Yeah. Okay. We're going to need to make like a flowchart or something. Right. So is it looking like
Flux first.
Alec casts Foresight on Flux, send in Flux, rest. Then Alec goes in to heal Flux. You cast Foresight on him. Then Jade. Then Bellamy or Nimbar.
Nimbar over Bellamy, I think.
Yeah.
Do we want Jade or Nimbar first, though?
How many long rests does Nimbar need to go back to full strength?
Two. So no matter what, so long as he's not the first one in, he will have it. I've rolled double one. I got lucky.
Okay. Right. Jelline, you get any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good to me. I don't really feel like I would offer you guys something if I really had anything, but the only thing I really have is rally, and it's just like I don't even think it's gonna cushion one hit. Like it would just be pointless, so the best thing I can do, I think, is just get it in there as soon as possible and just force those rolls as much as I can.
Does anyone have a boombox? So we go in there, we point out that Sardis is dead, but we didn't kill her. She decided to fade out of existence because she was so sad, and then blast Sarah McLaughlin so that Sardior gets too upset to concentrate.
He pulls a Goku Go Super Saiyan, hits you with a Super Kamehameha wave. You'd be like, do you know how
It's
hard it would be to
backfired.
bring her back this time?
We're the good guys, so technically pure of heart, so we should be able to deflect Kamehameha wave. And
No, that's Spirit Bomb.
and all that.
No,
Can't deflect
yeah,
the
just
Kamehameha
Spirit
wave. Kamehameha wave is the most dangerous attack in all of martial arts. Even Yamcha can do it, though. Favorite quote Krillin ever said is they're at the World Martial Arts Tournament, they're all kids, and Yamcha uses it, and Roshi's like, you're not ready, but he does it anyway. And then Yamcha's like, and then Krillin's like, well, shit, if Yamcha can do it, Kamehameha, I can do it. All right, let's fight. Oh. How to undermine decades of training. Yamcha can do it, so can I. Well, you're all planning on pumping up Flux. Oh, sorry, Jillian, you go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to let you guys know that Courtney's rabbit has an ear infection and she's not doing very well, which is why she's not here. And she just said that she's just having a really hard time dealing with it because it might need surgery, and her and Jordan have decided that they weren't going to put her through another surgery because she's 8 years old and she's already been through surgery for her teeth, so...
Poor bunny.
Yeah, she's just having a hard time with it. But anyway, she wanted me to tell you guys, so I'm telling you.
That's all good. Probably best that she not play a sad D&D campaign like this one at the moment. Today's been a bad news day, so you know. I hope things cheer up for her bunny, though. But bunnies are like 90% ears, so I couldn't imagine an ear infection on a rabbit. Partial joke, partial seriousness.
Yeah.
We've been treating it for like over 2 weeks now, I think, and it's just not getting any better.
Oh.
Yeah, and she is like, for her breed, she is like, kind of at the end of her life, like she's like senior.
Oh yeah.
I think her breed only lives to like 7 or 8 years old, maybe 9. I'm not really sure. I know she said it before, but I can't remember exactly what it was that she said. But
at least she's given it a nice, long, wonderful life.
So I keep telling her.
It's sad. She has to deal with it, unfortunately. Whoa, that sounds cold. It's sad.
No, I don't. I think it's
she's stuck dealing with that. It happens. We all acknowledge it as pet owners, and I feel for her really bad. I realize it's sad, but she's got to deal with it. It's like, no, Alan, rephrase that. You're not from the 80s.
I knew you didn't say it.
Yeah.
I knew you didn't mean it like that.
It's gonna fall on her shoulders. She's at that age with the rabbit, unfortunately, and that breaks my heart. My cats are like 15, 14, 16, that age range. I'd have to actually check the years now, and I'm dreading anything coming up at any point with them, you know? They're at that age that they're like an old car. Something could just stop working. But yeah, I've been pretty good. They're in pretty good health. And the cranky one loves the kid, while the good one doesn't, so go figure. So I got no complaints, though. The cranky one's the dangerous one. But that's
strange how animals just something just clicks for them.
I think she just realized, if I mess with this kid, they're gonna get me in big trouble.
Oh, I'm gone.
Yeah. Oh my word. I do love my pets, though. My cats are awesome. We try to treat them well. We have to medicate Patches, though, now that she's old. She has issues with the hind quarters, but a couple drops in her food in the morning and she's fine for the day. So that's lucky. You could have worse troubles. Oh my word. So I hope everything works good for Courtney. I hope I hope things go smooth. I hope their decisions aren't hard ones, because that's no fun. She's a good person. Poor bunny. Speaking of poor characters, Flux, first up off the get-go. So they're stacking you with some extra bonuses.
Yeah.
Right.
Hit my long rest button because I haven't done that yet.
Alright.
Just waiting for the plan to be a little bit more concrete.
Right. Let's see.
Well, if you all want to jump on it, we can take that first step, drop over to the one world of creation, and toss Flux against the Godslayer.
Oh, that's a big... Talk about sentences that you don't want to say. It's just like, oh, there you go, Flux. Good luck. Peace.
She's not really giving you guys an option. She's just like, yep, this is happening. To give everyone a fist bump. And a special hug for Alec and Jade. They're the OGs. And just be like, see you guys. And see you there. Won't take too long.
I would have gone with you to the end.
The very fires of Mordor.
Admittedly, you have. You went to hell and back, and now you've gone to the end of creation with them. So, you know. Some people say these things. Other people, like your characters, actually live them out and stick to their words. So big congratulations. Don't forget, I gave you all a point of inspiration. You're all sitting on one. And I'm gonna go ahead, if that's the case, and switch the map over to the realm of the first world, or what exists of it. And we're going to drop Flux in. Because it's
Obsidian Dragon's Helper are still there.
Oh, you might have to tap F5 then. If it's still showing, it shouldn't be showing. But what I will do, actually before you do, did that get rid of it?
I've already done it.
Oh, never mind.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
I've already hit refresh. I apologize. It shouldn't take too long.
A world of smoke and creation, nothing more than that, bound by pure white light. Mistral looks towards your character and gives a frown and puts a hand on your shoulder, and acknowledges that you, Fulminoxus Naira, are one of the bravest who've ever stood to run full long into this challenge. And you feel a bright light wash over your character, before you find yourself reappearing inside the first world of creation. And the Dungeon Master makes a note that he's using movie rules here. Otherwise it wouldn't be fun for you all. You know, I say it's about 6 seconds to a day, but if someone decides to have a chat or a tiny monologue before a fight actually breaks out between characters, well, who am I to stop them for a second? But it's still gonna be a single day. No taking time by wasting breaking time. The bad guy attacks you, essentially, is what's happened. But as you can see, the map's very basic, very straightforward. A nice shining light effect. I think you all should be able to fully see it as well.
Yeah, I can see the plate. It's kind of...
Nope.
I don't know if this is just me, but like the plain white background, like remaking the world, it's almost like it's like a graph paper that you're about to sketch out a map or a dungeon on to remake the D&D world.
A little bit of the reference I was going for with that one.
Alright, so I have Foresight cast onto me. And what
Yep.
else?
I don't think there's really anything else that at least I can buff you with that doesn't have concentration.
Yeah, I didn't really find much either.
I mean, I could have cast Hero's Feast for people if you wanted like the temporary hit points. And the bonus to wisdom saves that would last 24 hours for you in there. So that's something else I could do.
I would take it if you didn't mind using the resource. I suppose there's not really any stakes for you if you decide to do it, but it ultimately comes to you because it's your spell, it's your cup. So.
Well, I'm going to rest anyway, so I imagine Jade must have a gem encrusted bowl worth 1,000 gold on him. Checks his left cargo pant pocket. Ah, there you go. If that's something the GM allows.
So I can actually upcast aid.
Oh, you've got aid?
I have every wizard spell, which is why it's been taking me so long to go through everything.
I'll put the language of Hero's Feast into the VTT. So you can have a read at that.
I'll also say, Jillian, if you want to save a step, I did already get the combat set up for rolling. However, now I don't have the stats coded in onto Forge because that's too much work for the way things work. I am going to admit that I rolled like a demon for that initiative order. And you can roll in on it too.
I was gonna use like my feat that brings me up in initiative, but there's no point.
I got a
If
nat
I roll
20
that
on
much, I
that one.
can't.
Wait, is it not a real spell?
it doesn't matter. I'm still going last, so.
You just roll your 2d10 to increase your hit point max. You might get an extra hit out of it.
Oh, never mind. 8 is not a wizard one. Ha! So I don't have 8. Sorry.
Is it cleric and bard?
Artificer, cleric, paladin. And then some subclasses.
I need to...
Well, John, congratulations. You found one of the few spells that wizards can't do.
If he wanted to, he could wish it.
I could wish it.
Oh!
There we go.
And it comes down with the knowledge bomb.
Yeah, so I will wish for an 8th level aid. So, your spell bolsters allies with toughness and resolve. Choose up to 3 creatures. Each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration. For each spot of spell of level 3 or higher, targets increase by an additional 5. So
35 total going up.
Yeah, because
yeah, so that's 7 times 5 is 35. So you get an extra 35 health.
Amazing.
Hey,
You guys,
I know.
you guys want to know something wild?
What?
15 plus 35. 48. Okay. Flux's health is currently sitting at 12.
You finally broke the big 400.
Broke 400.
Nice.
412. I don't know how much it's gonna matter once you start swinging, but that's what I'm at right now.
It's really gonna do numbers, that initiative roll, to be honest. Oof. I feel for Flux
Well,
if she's coming through.
Alan, there's nothing I could have done.
I know, it's the way it goes.
It went up higher. It went up higher. It was 37, now it's 39?
I miscalculated. What? It's a +9 for the proficiency bonus on a CR 30. And I won't go past that for calculations. Dex gives it a +10 if it's a max out for Dex. +9.
Yeah.
Nat 20 brings it to 39. I had to pop it up because I did the math wrong. And it gets worse than that, but we'll get into that when you actually start fighting.
Is there any point of me using my ambush tactic?
Well, that gives you advantage on it, right?
No, it just adds a d12 to it.
It could help bring it up for a simple reason that even stepping through the portal, your character's already getting a sense of the strength that this creature has.
Okay.
I mean,
it
might mean that you go faster than some of us.
Sorry, I'm here now.
No worries.
What were you saying, Dean?
Just that it might mean that you go faster than some of us as well. Like if you attack close at the top of the round. I don't know. What I'm thinking. I just like you'll go faster than one of us probably.
Please don't roll a 1 for ambush. This is probably one of the last times I'm gonna use you. All I'm asking that you just roll higher than a 1. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I'll take it.
That brings you up to a 15.
Yeah, my initiative is now 15.
And as Flux steps in, weapons drawn, ready to brawl, Straken, who's standing back onto you, has both arms up in the air, pointed towards this gigantic sphere of sheer power and strength, the force of creation, as he slowly pauses and looks over one shoulder towards you, lifting up a brow as he gives a slow sigh, and adds in, "You know, this is exactly why I killed you all. I knew you wouldn't stop coming, you wouldn't stop fighting. And I really can't blame you." His sword basically materializing in one hand as he begins to walk towards your character, as the fight gets ready to break out. Any words left from Flux, or is she just charging?
You're just saying, we brought you back here. Now we're gonna take you out of this world.
And as I had mentioned, there is still quite a gap between Straken's power and your power as a god. He represents a power beyond and over the gods, and as you might have guessed, he no longer gets 7 initiatives on you, he only gets 5 now, since you're all 2 steps closer as we start the fight.
Boy.
We're still at 1, right? We don't get any more?
Against
Yeah,
him,
well-
just the 1.
Yeah, it's against non-celestial people we get her.
But before any attacks are made, did we want Bellamy to death ward every person going through?
Oh, does that make it if you hit
Yes.
0, you go to 1 instead?
Yes.
Perfect,
Yes.
gives you an extra
Yep.
life. Well, this is meant to be a final grade boss in D&D. It's meant to be about as evil and as unfair of an unbalanced encounter as I'm allowed to make. So of course, soloing it, the first player to go through was the one with a lot of pressure on their head. And I've ripped the most powerful attacks I can from the most powerful monsters to build this thing and make it as legit as possible. And the first thing it's doing is using its multi-attack to swing at you. The first attack is made at disadvantage, as you are aware your character is set for that.
Oh, I would say that my shield would probably be up until I have to attack as well.
Perfect. What's that bring your armor class up to?
I don't think it's gonna make a difference, but with my shield up, I believe it is 27.
27 on the armor class. With the disadvantage, I have to do a quick calculation just to see. Yep, that is a hit. As he brings the sword down to bear, brow rising up. I really should have coded this in because I have to do it manual, but I can just copy-paste. As the blade strikes down against Flux, she immediately takes 25 points of damage from the first hit. I'll right-click these onto your character to save the steps since it's up to date on Forge. Make your life a little easier for the math. Let me know if you're doing anything fancy to reduce any of them.
Okay.
As for the next attack, he's going to teleport 5 feet. As he does, this automatically gives him advantage on the next attack, which manages to single it out to being just a straight dice roll instead of disadvantage. What's your armor class?
27.
Oh, I hate math. Let me just see here. That is a hit as he connects. Took a decent dice roll too. Another 25 points of damage from the second hit. Making another step to give himself advantage, which is going to work great on everyone except Jade. He takes another swing. I'm just going to roll the remaining swings that he's got, because he's got 3 more turns after this before your turn hits, and his multi-attack gives him 5 swings a turn. So that's 18 more D20, because that's how many swings he gets. I'm gonna do this easily to make my life and your life a little simpler. I'm doing the full roll behind the scenes. I didn't roll a single 20, but I did get a 1. And I have to find out what my bare minimum is to hit against an AC of 27.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. We got 6 misses on the board as he flickers around you for those turns so far.
Okay.
However, the other 12 will hit. So I'm just gonna go and do a full add up on this. And I'm rolling all the dice at once for average damage to make life easier.
Anybody want to take a guess what my heart rate is at right now?
100.
With
17.
me doing the
170.
math. Oh god.
I'm interested that all these initiatives have different names
Yep.
for all these different aspects.
As he blurs and burns around Flux, in total he deals out 338 whopping points of damage with that longsword. And you can see why he was a terror in battle.
I would have used my parry for at least one attack. I would have saved it for less than the most. So
You know
it doesn't
what
mean
I'm gonna
that
do?
but it means it would reduce the damage.
I'm gonna take, since I rolled all the dice at once for that, I'm gonna take 4 max set dice. You're a god, you've got some strength and abilities that are wonky. We'll take 4 of the max damage dice and cut it in half, and I'll give you back that much strength, which is...
I only use parry once because
Yep.
it's a reaction.
that gives you back 21 health. Brings you up to 54 hit points out of your massive 412, as Flux is brought low and cold by that steel blade he carries. However, he's only swinging with one hand. He does not dual wield during this fight, which is some small blessing as he would have got an extra swing, his other hand remaining in the air, concentrating on his spell. It's now Flux's turn.
Alright. Going all in. I have advantage on all my attacks anyway, right? Because of foresight.
Yep.
Alan,
Yeah.
the Eyes of Mystra feature that you gave us, we don't need to pick a 4th level spell. We can have like a upcasted lower level spell.
Yep, I'll let that one go.
I
Alright.
would use precision attack on the lowest one.
Alright, so you
So
go
the
ahead
30
and roll
I
it.
would use precision attack on. Let me just mark off the dice. So precision attack, let me just see. Okay, before or after the roll. That's legit. I think it's just the D12. Up, away. Okay.
It was good, though, that you
Spent
added
one
on that
spirit.
dice roll, Jillian. I wouldn't have put you in front of his last turn of 15 without it. You just got enough to get a turn in.
Oh no.
And the dice take it. I'm sorry. I really am.
It's
But it
fine.
worked the first time you
I
did
don't
it.
know if 32 hits, but anyway.
All 4 attacks strike hard against the Godslayer as his armor rings out. The DM mentions he is limited to the real rules. He's trying not to go beyond. However, as your first attack hits, he is going to redouble as you see him pivot a foot and angle and use a maneuver that you're very much used to. Parrying strike to strike back at you. And he hits. Which also adds his deck mod onto that. And the superiority die as well. So... Oh. Unfortunately, as Flux makes her swings and cuts, let me do some concentration checks here. And what's your damages on there? 34, 34, 27, and 34. Which as you strike, you can see his form redoubling and reflecting as he seems to be resistant to it despite the hits that you're given. John, what's the minimum roll someone has to get to beat your character's concentration for damage? Because you auto pass on damage of what level or below?
So
As an
I have a plus 17, so mine anything lower than an 18, which would double to 36.
Ooh, very nice. They get 3 of 4 as a pass for that, but 1 they do fail. But, of course, They have a legendary resistance they're going to burn. Which brings them down one further on that slot as you do manage to cut through his defenses. But on your fourth attack, as mentioning, you're recognizing the stance and attack he's using. He uses Parrying Strike, reflecting your blade down and bringing his own to bear. Or sorry, on your character's first strike. And I was about to say, hang on, this changes things, but I realized, thanks to the quick thinking with Bellamy, it changes absolutely nothing. Your character takes 56 points of damage from that reflected strike. The d12 plus an extra 10 for their dexterity. And then the damage die for the attack roll itself. You were at 54 if the numbers are spot on. That's going to leave you at 1 health thanks to Bellamy's magic. However, it's Full Dust Sternspear's turn now before combat wears out. Unless you got something else you wanted to do.
I'm going to action surge, of course.
Alright, you let it burn.
Oh, God. My shield would be down now, too. It doesn't matter, but my AC is at 22 technically now, because I would have to use my bonus action to do that first.
And I have to roll another d20. He has disadvantage. Nope, still hits. So, shield's down. Oh, ooh.
Ooh, baby.
That's gonna might be another one off the concentration ticks.
I'll use precision on the 25.
Alrighty.
I'm just gonna say that now, and then... before I forget. So the 25 becomes a 31.
A 31 is a hit as well, so that's 2 hits. You go ahead, keep rolling.
Oops, damn it. Oh, damn it. You know what? I think I can use precision attack again. I may as well, because I'm going to be dead soon, so...
You go ahead and add a precision attack to that one as well. And the 33 is on the board as well. 38's an auto hit. 25 is boosted up to a 31 for a hit. Ooh.
So the 20 becomes a 29. I don't know if that's going to hit.
29 is a hit. So you go ahead and roll up your damages for those 4 hits.
Did I roll 4 times? Or just 3?
Did we get 3 swings? 1, 2, 3. No, there's 4. 38, 25, precision, 20
no,
precision,
that's fine.
33.
I just wanted to make sure. Yep, I believe you guys. I just was... it takes me a minute to scroll back up again. And I'm just going to double check. I don't think any of those are 18 or higher. So none of the other ones are criticals either. Okay. Gonna be the critical hit. Ooh. Nice.
So has to pass a 35 as he sinks 70 points of damage in. As you continue to ping away and swipe and charge.
At 9, both of those, the 9 and the 6, get added onto the damage as well, I believe. Let me double check actually before I say that for sure.
Yep.
I was just looking at you. Oh no, it's not. Because it doesn't say, so never mind, it doesn't actually get added on. Okay, and one more damage.
Alright. Well, of course, with a crit on the board, you do manage to squeeze another legendary resistance out of him, as he has to try hard for holding on to that one. It strikes, it ricochets, and he holds strong against your other 3 attacks, however, making good dice rolls in the process. As Flux clings very near death, anything else left for your turn?
No. I can't second win because I've already used my bonus action.
And as your turn comes to an end, we roll over to Dusty. As they peer towards Flux and looks at the bloody line you've left across their chest, As on your turn, you did about 150, 140 damage, and that's impressive. He's going to teleport, of course, in front of your character, or behind your character, however you want to look at that. As he takes a firm swing.
I think it's up to you how he kills her. Is he going to go behind her? Is he going to go in front of her?
He's just teleporting around. The first one missed, so he didn't actually get you with that.
I'm at 22 now, though, remember.
Alrighty. I think Bellamy's only counts the first time you drop, then it wears off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Incredibly, like, I more than invite you to look at the recording for the dice rolls. Incredibly, as he brings that sword to bear, Flux reflects the first shot, and he spins behind her, and she reflects the second. Third, he brings down hard, and she manages to defend it off of her shield arm with the extra armor class. But as he peers behind her...
Do I have a reaction back now?
Your turn would have ended, so you'd get a reaction. Now, these attacks have missed up till this point.
Yep, repost. When they miss, I can attack.
Alrighty, so you go ahead and make an attack roll.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just use everything I got and just do what I can. And I have advantage, right?
Yep. Ooh, it's a crit.
That is Flux utterly spent.
Oh my.
That was my last superiority die.
Catching with him, and you give him a good dent on the teeth with that. However, you're not the only one who rolled critical for this last swing. He gets a crit on his attack, doubling up those damage die. Which I must copy-paste again because unfortunately I side-clicked in the wrong direction. But impressively, the first 3 attacks, he misses with those. And, in doing so, quickly brings Flux's life to an end, cutting you down for 47 further points of damage, leaving a streaking trail of blood across the white, which soon fades with the very force of existence, as you guessed it, your character, after making some dents in him, removing a few of those legendary resistances, though God knows how many he has, pun intended on that one. Flux would pass from this world once more.
So she's not unconscious, she's dead?
Oh right, that's saving throws and all that stuff, right?
Well, I mean, if he strikes me
the killing off
twice
NPCs.
And I'm dead.
You know what?
It's up to you. If I imagine he would strike me down 2 more times while I'm unconscious, because the first one would be critical and the second, so that would be 2.
Well, that's the kicker.
The third one would be
actually,
killer.
That's a good point, because as this is rolling around to the start of the next round of combat, is when someone else is going to get chucked in. So Flux would be down making death saves, but you're going to have to beat his monstrous initiative order for whoever's jumping in next.
I will give you 1 saving grace on this. You do have the option to say no to damage for 1 attack. So you could say no to that last attack.
Could. I thought it was we could say no to missing. But we can say no to damage as well.
Another one of the epic boons you picked up.
We have boon of invincibility. When you take damage from any source, you can reduce that damage to 0. You cannot do that again until you use finish a short rest. So you could, for that last hit, just say no.
Well, I mean, if it's my bad for forgetting that we had it, Alan, it's your call.
Oh,
I would have, obviously, but...
We're still in that instance where we're sitting at the edge of his turn, having used his action to attack. We haven't moved forward in the initiative order yet. We take this step at a time. It's a big fight after all. So if you want to use that, by all means.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
And as you do, as your character holds on with that last little bit, shrugging off the damage, you can see him visibly twitch. And he's gonna pull on you a move you've used so many times yourself. He's gonna trigger an action surge.
Why did I even try? Why did I even bother?
My god, the first 2 attacks still miss your character. Third one nails you, though, and I have to make sure I can still actually kill you, because you had 20-some health.
I would have only had 1, because I was back up again after Death Ward.
Alright. Third swipe will take you down, as you've burned up his action surge. He won't have that, or at best he'll have 1 more of those, as things go. He is also going to stab you while you're down, knowing full well how that works. And I believe if you strike a creature while they're down and incapacitated, it's an automatic critical, right?
Yeah, I lose 2 death saving throws.
Yep. That would be the end of his turn. But Jillian, for a character who's hanging on the ropes, to get him to burn a full action surge, oof. DM's going, damn it, I needed that for later. Flux is on the ropes as the next round is starting. Who's jumping in?
I actually think we should call it here, or at least I have to call it here.
That's a good spot to pause.
Yeah.
We'll give you all plenty to plan on.
Y'all have a good night.
You have yourself a good
Enjoy
one,
your
John.
week. Have a good week. Bye, friends.
You have a good one.
Yeah.
Later, John.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I don't think he was going to be taking his turn next to jump in. I don't think that was in the plan, and his character would be using the boost up. And I can play for a little bit longer till about 2:30 today if somebody still wanted to jump in, or we can call it here because, well, there's still a fair bit left after this, as you can tell.
I think that we're going to send Alec in next to heal Flux.
I believe that was the idea, and then foresight on you.
Yeah, I got Nimbar would cast foresight on Alec.
Sorry, kiddo's having a good old time. The evil
Oh, no worries. Then before, do you think he would cast aid as well?
Oh, probably. We can toss that on.
Right, so that would be 35, we said?
Yes. Adds 35 hit points.
Okay. So we've got Foresight, Aid,
Death Ward.
Death Ward. I'll cast Gift of Alacrity on myself. So I get an extra D8 to initiative. No, I mean, that's not, probably won't change too much, but right, then do Jank I should bother casting Hero's Feast on for myself? I mean, he's not made Flux do a wisdom save yet, so I don't know.
I mean, I thought it was worth it just for the temporary hit points and the increase in maximum hit points, but it's entirely your call how you want to play it.
I will be honest, by using it, you did force him to use more abilities. He had to push harder to kill Flux. It took him a couple extra swings. A whole turn was brought to bring her down, and an action surge, because you all stacked that very well.
Okay, so I'll cast 6th level for Hero's Feast, so that'll be 2d10. Nope.
If you're just looking for extra health to burn through, Bellamy also has the spell Motivational Speech.
And I've tossed Alec onto the map just for comparison's sake.
Yep.
Makes it easier for doing control and moving things around.
Yep. I'm going to cast Fire Shield on myself. to just try and get more stuff. So every time he hits me, I'll go for cold damage. It takes 2d8 cold damage. I don't know if that's really going to make him, force him to make any saves. But Spite is the name of the game, and I would have, before going in, I would have wild shape into the Emerald Dragon form. So I'll have that HP pool as well. And my star form will be Chalice going in.
And wild shaped.
Awesome. Okay, right, I think I've stacked myself as much as I can. Bum bum bum. I'm tempted to use my inspiration to roll initiative to see if I can try and be a little bit faster. I think I will. Oh, you mother.
So that's 11 on the die. And how many bonuses did you slap on there? Because I'll get it edited in. Don't get me wrong. I just need to know what it's gonna be.
So why did I use the dragon's roll for dexterity?
It must have, since you're in that form.
Yeah, because mine's is +2.
You'd have to use the dragon stats if you change to a dragon before you go in. The physical rolls change, right?
Yeah, so that's okay. I mean, we're only talking about a difference of 1.
Fair.
And then my D8. Okay. So 19 total. I was hoping to at least beat that 20.
19.
Yep.
That still puts you before the last turn, which helps counterbalance.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna get this party rolling.
Yep.
As Alec jumps in his draconic form, Sardior turns his head.
And just before you start wrecking me, the feature I took for the druid feature was the fungal body from the circle of spores.
Yeah.
So I'm a nasty little mushroom man.
So what does that do?
I critical hits against me count as a normal hit.
Oh, very nice. Unless you're incapacitated.
Well, I mean, by the time we get there, it doesn't matter anymore.
All right. Well, he's going to take a 5-foot slide forward, because I'm assuming we're jumping in on this now.
Oh yeah.
5-foot step closer towards you, and as he does, first thing he's going to do is spin the blade off to the side against Flux. How in the hell do I keep rolling so low against you? He even has advantage, you're prone! Like, because I don't think he gets disadvantage anymore to hit her, does he still?
I think the spell is what's giving her disadvantage.
Does it keep staying even if she's unconscious for that one? It's a 9th level spell, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, we also thought that Wish was way better than it was.
Because I rolled so poor on the first one it doesn't hit, so I say he has to spin the blade twice. Apparently, underestimating just how hard to hack through Flux is, he decides to burn a goddamn critical on killing her when she only has 1 death save left. That's not fair, man. I could have used that 20 on Dean.
Well, it wouldn't matter because I can't be crit on.
No, I know, but I mean, it's a guaranteed hit. It's a guaranteed hit.
Yeah.
No, it only ends if you cast the spell again before the duration is over.
All right. Now, once a creature's dead, it will end because it can only take effect on the target that it's on. I think. If you want to give that a Google for me, though, Dan, I'll appreciate it. Incapacitated is one thing. Dead, you no longer function as a creature traditionally, so some spells end, and I'm not sure about that one. But, I mean, people come back to life in high-level play all the damn time. So, having used 2 attacks to take down Flux, he's going to make the remaining 3, and Dean has the same effect, I'm guessing, for Alec, that disadvantage to hit with the other things, right?
So sorry, did he kill me?
He did.
Yes.
He offed you. Took him 2 swings. The first one missed. I've rolled so low. So low. I'm always amazed on that one, actually. I did really bad on a lot of the swings in the end. Flux is tough as nails. Looking up and seeing a dragon, though, especially one with the defensive capacity, has changed his guise. So he's going to remake his remaining attacks on against Dean, and I have to see. Your armor class is 18, and you take half damage, right?
Half damage from slashing, bludgeoning, and piercing.
All damage types, right? It doesn't matter if it's magical or not.
Just the damage types, yeah.
Perfect.
Doesn't specify magical or non-magical.
And with an AC of 18, that's 3 more hits. And I'll roll up the 3 damage in the background, and I'll apply them as halfsies to your characters. You cause me a little bit of extra work as he starts shaving into your dragon. It was 35, 40, and 34 for the first turn. As we jump around to the next turn. And I don't think you have any concentration spells on the go right now, do you?
No.
Alrighty, so that's good then. We're gonna make 5 more rolls. I'm literally just rolling 5d20 at a time to save myself time. And seeing if any miss.
Makes sense.
With an 18 AC, not many miss.
I feel like a 1 he misses on.
Yep, not gonna lie. As he continues to shave down against your dragon's form. Cutting harder and harder against you as you're looking severely badly injured now. And he shoots a bit of a glare. As pauses on his 3rd turn. He looks up towards you and tilts his head and says, "You're just gonna change form after I cut you down and do this again and again and again, aren't you?"
I honestly didn't think further than getting here, Straken.
That takes that whole turn because on his 4th he floats up towards your character's face. 30 feet into the air he goes as he mutters, "I really hate using magic. The dirty power of you spiritual beings. I want to burn it and destroy it forever after tearing through the material plane, but you know what? I got one thing to say to you." Let me see here because I didn't have it listed, but I'd like to have it pop up in the chat. As he casually says, "Begone from this world. Forever." Knowing full well what he's dealing with you shape changers who change form so magically. He uses a 9th level spell lot to cast Power Word Kill. Oh, what's that spell Bellamy used? Does that block Power Word Kill and keep him at 1?
Yep.
But because...
Death word. So I dropped his... So
Let me see.
If...
Because it dies instantly, that's different here. Kill it instantly, the effect is instead negated against the target, and the spell ends. Oh, look at that. So... the spell is negated. As we roll around to Alec's turn now. As Dusty looks a little bit angry, having burned a 9th level spell slot against a death ward. That's still in effect.
So, just so for my own thing, I scratch out Death Ward now?
I think it still stays active. Let me see here. Oh, the spell ends. Death Ward is now over.
Okay. Guess it's nice to have friends, Straken. then Flux is unconscious, right?
Oh no, he killed her.
Oh, I'm dead.
Oh, he's dead. Okay. Did he use legendary actions on you, Jillian?
He did
No.
not use any.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay.
He used a legendary resistance, definitely, but not legendary actions.
Okay. Right. How do I do this? He must have more than one 9th level spell.
Biggest bads in the game got 2.
Yeah, okay, right, so if I do that, then
So you can probably
that
guess what he's
triggers-
going to do on his turn, though, so keep that in mind.
yep, I'm trying to just figure out how to burn more of his actions. I can't do enough damage to make him lose concentration. So I'm gonna talk this out loud. Anyone jump in if there's a problem with my thinking. I'm gonna use my action to revivify on Flux. That restores a hit point. That triggers the chalice form power, which I would use on myself to put me above 100. That way, if he wants to use Power Word killing me again, he at least needs to waste another action to do it. But because I bring Flux back up to 1 HP, she can attack next round and might break his concentration. Then that's my action. I've got a bonus action left. And I don't think I can't revert my form as an action because I'm not a moon druid. Let me double check that. No, I can end my form as a bonus action. Right. Okay. Is there anything wrong with what I said there?
It's clever.
Okay. Revivify on Flux. That's my action.
Anything else for your turn?
Yes, actually, because if I'm going to drop my dragon form, then I don't need to put the chalice healing on me. So if I cast this, then Flux is at 1. Then she takes that healing, so she might get another hit at least before she falls again. Then bonus action, I just revert to base Alec, and then I'm there with my full HP.
I'm assuming you're going to take this space, because you get any one of the ones that you were in. So I'm assuming you'll take this for the obvious reason of just getting advantage in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That's... I don't have anything left other than movement. I just need to adjust my temporary maximum hit points on Foundry. How do I do that?
Oh, if you pop open your character sheet on the bottom left under the 303 on the left, you'll see plus temp.
Yeah.
Type it in there. It'll show an
Right,
extra
okay.
blue bar on top of your health.
So I think if I do... did I do that right? I should be at 356, so I put in 53.
Oh, you popped
Oh wait,
it on
that's my. I increased the maximum.
There you go.
Right.
53 into temp should do it. There we go. Now I got
And
356.
Right, and that's my, because that's my maximums increased as well for those spells. So that both boxes take the.
Oh, you get 53 health and 53 maximum health, is it? Or 53 max and 53 temp?
Yeah, that's I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Which spell did you use?
So it was Aid in Hero's Feast.
Oh, Hero's Feast gives you maximum temp health, then that goes on to the second block. So whatever, or maximum health, whatever that was for Hero's Feast, you put that in the second one to the right. On the left side, you'd put in the temporary health you got, because that will disappear first.
I think Aid is your max health as well. Is that right?
Yeah,
Dan?
it is. I was just reading it.
Let me check if you can stack those. It might one.
Alright, well, I think Jillian stacked them for Flux.
Yeah.
Yep, they are. Aid and Hero's Feast do stack. I just had to double check.
Okay, cool. So, temporary maximum hit points. So that is, should I put in the full number there? 356.
Oh, just the amount that you're getting bonus, so the 53 on this one.
53, okay.
Yep. Otherwise, your health goes through the roof. You'll see a purple bar for the max health that you've got, so we're going to put you up to...
Alright, okay, I see.
356 on the hopper, should put you to green overall, and you've got that purple one, so you know the max out. That should do it.
Right, cool. Yeah, that's everything I can do. I hope that it's enough for Flux to get her next round in.
Well, as we roll over the Flux's turn, he doesn't take any legendary actions to try to hit her. He does sigh softly as he shakes his head, and Flux's turn comes up. Your character, near death and prone. He mutters, "I should have took her sword." As he turns over his shoulder to look towards you as you're getting up or attacking from as you do.
So he's 30 feet in the air?
30 feet floating up in the air.
Okay, well, before I do anything else, I'm going to take my second wind.
Alright. Flux takes a deep breath. You also have his 60-foot flight speed, so even cut in half, it's 30 feet.
Oh, I can reach. I have a 10-foot reach as well, so... I'm just double-checking. Second wind. Please roll good. Please.
Hey, 24 is still good. You get more on the bonuses than you do for the dice roll nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'll apply that to your character to save you the half step. Brings you up to 48 health total.
And then I'll fly up. I'll just, I'll just keep doing what I do.
Swing for them critical. See if you can get him to burn through his concentrations. Advantage on your swings.
I'll just say, good to see you, Alec.
Actually, wait, hold on. Your character truly outright died. What's the spell? The 9th level spell. What's it called?
Foresight.
Foresight.
The only thing it says about ending is if you cast it again. It lasts for 8 hours, but it's... I've been looking since you asked, and I haven't found anything. I can only find what happens if the caster of the spell dies. I can't find the creature under the effect of the spell.
I mean, if it makes it easier for this round, and we can research it through the week, we could just say that I flew up to be level with him.
We'll figure that one out. For right now, it's easy enough to just let that one go. Yeah, we'll say you're at the 30 feet mark with him to make life easy.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say no because you're classified as a corpse and not a creature, and that might end it based on a state effect. But there's nothing that says it does, so maybe yes. It's an odd one. However, Flux. As your character flies up to attack. Prior to this, your character was good and dead, most certainly. And that doesn't come without some consequence. And you go ahead and roll your damage 4 times there. as Death themselves came to meet your character with a laugh and a slow clap of their hands, as they acknowledge indeed.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Ignore that.
Oh,
The
no
last
worries.
roll. I meant to hit damage, but I hit attack.
Death gets a kick out of this, as it's the most incredible fight they've ever witnessed. The most powerful things in all of creation fighting tooth and nail against the most powerful thing in all of creation, with the essences of Bahamut and Tiamat at your side. Death smiles and says, keep fighting. I wonder if your friends will fight as hard. And a wicked grin stays on their face as your character returns to the land of the living. Death is watching and seems to be cheering you on from the outside.
That's not great damage, but that's what I got.
Well, the critzy is a rough one to deal with, so just in case.
Oh, I...
That does take another one of the legendary resistances. I managed to roll a 20, but it was at the wrong time. As you continue to slice into his form.
I'm gonna action surge again.
Alright. So you burn through your next action surge. You go ahead and swing.
Oh my god. I feel bad! I feel bad! I
Striking
genuinely...
uses silvery barbs. Go ahead and re-roll that.
Just a flat d20, probably?
Yep.
Just a normal attack roll.
Yeah, because he's forcing you to re-roll the 20. Silvery barbs is dirty.
That's a normal attack roll.
Alright. So you go ahead, keep rolling your dice for your damage. Or for your attacks and your damage, because that's still a hit with a 31.
Oh, I roll 3 more.
Yep.
That was 2, right?
Yep. You doing anything on that 28?
I don't have anything left to do.
Alrighty.
my superiority die are gone.
So that's 4 hits.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
What do you need? Wait, 28 hits?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do wheel, but we're safe.
Ooh, that's a crit! Cause of my feet.
Oh, nice. So
At
you go ahead
37's a crit.
and roll 4 times with the crit damage on top.
Was that 4? Was that 3? 1, 2,
Actually, was that a
3,
Let's see.
4.
We got the attack that was then re-rolled. 2, 3, and 4. Yep. Oh no, that's the fifth. That's the 5th roll you put in, I think. You had your first one where you got the 20 that he forced you to re-roll there with the king of 31, then a 35, then a 28, and a 30. So 4 hits, but that last one was a 5th that you don't have.
I apologize. That was just my mistake. I wasn't trying to take an extra move.
It gets hard to keep track of all of it at this point, Jillian. Don't you worry, none.
So these are all just normal. None of those were critical.
39. 38.
God, I have to scroll up so high.
36. 30. And let me see here. Nope, that is going to be 4 sets of passes for him, as this time, unfortunately, you don't take enough to shave him off, but you still might get another round. Anything else for Flux's turn? Having already caused him to cave 1.
I can do.
Alrighty. As we roll over to Full Dust's turn, he's going to give a small squint towards Flux and then a bit of a glare towards Alec. As he balances the sword in one hand, and then scoffs a small laugh. Teleports, appearing behind Flux, of course. Oh. And swings hard with that mighty blade of his. As he breaches through with a critical hit for 58 points of damage.
On Flux?
Yep.
Okay. Down again.
Your character falls through the air as well since you were 30 feet up. And as you strike the ground, unfortunately, that's an extra d6. Or, sorry, you're 30 feet up, so that's 2d6 of bludgeoning damage. But that's not an attack against you.
It doesn't matter. I'm unconscious anyway.
But it's a death
So
save
it's a
that you
death
lose.
saving gone. Yeah, so I just mean the damage doesn't matter because it's a death save.
And he'll teleport down and, once again, make another swing at Flux. And this one is a hit, to once again kill her off. As he turns eyes towards Alec. Does the same, teleporting behind your character. Every time he teleports, he gets advantage, but you've all stacked the deck. So that doesn't matter too much. And what's Alec's AC?
Oh my god, I completely forgot about Fire Shield.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Fire Shield just means he takes 2d8 of cold damage every time he hits me. But I don't think 16 would make him fail a con check anyway.
Hey, damage is damage, though.
Yeah.
But most importantly, what's your character's AC?
21.
21 in this one. Alright, that's a hit. And that is a hit. And the last hit is also a hit. You still have that half-seas on for damage?
Yep.
Alrighty. As he starts to cut in.
Four hits.
3 hits. He had to use 2 to take Flux out.
Right.
To actually kill her outright.
Right, let me roll this. Now that I've remembered. Oh my god.
Oop, not
that's
right.
all cold. That's cold damage. For what it's worth.
If I can get that frightened symbol off, there we go. For 8, 2, and 7 damage to him. As he seems to be shrugging it off like everything else he's being hit with, but it's still damaging him, albeit slowly. And as his turn rolls over to an end, Mystra holds her hand out, offering another turn, but is Jade the next one logically in line, and then John and then Bellamy was the idea?
We weren't sure if John or me were next.
Well, I'll leave it up to you, because we can finish out today's session with your character jumping in. Because we can't really play for John or Courtney since they're not here. Though if Courtney's not here, we can. She's our guest star.
Well, if Jade goes in before Nimbar, he can get Foresight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just in case you're planning for it, I'll toss Jade on the map itself, so you can make your plans. Or we can pause for the week. One or the other.
Oh, and Thingamajig, he was hitting at me with disadvantage, right? Because I got Foresight from... Okay. I didn't think it would change.
To give himself advantage, which cancels it out.
Yeah, no worries. Right.
What do you think, Dan? You want to jump in and run a turn? Because honestly, I could see him using Foresight on your character and your character jumping in.
I could. So, well, we got it down to where it was either me next or John next, and we were trying to decide. And I don't think we ever came to a concrete decision, so...
We could just pause it there for next
Alrighty.
week then.
Seriously badass, rough boss fight going. With an enemy capable of dishing out the most damage I can possibly legit do in a game without being totally cruel. And forcing you to go in one at a time. I made this one hard. Victory is a giant green glowing bubble behind yourselves. So we'll see how that one turns out. Well, we'll go ahead then and pause it for the week, though I am going to pull Jay back off the map. We can decide who's jumping in on round 3 in this fight, as things have been going from bad to worse. I will give a clap, though, for Jillian for immediately volunteering her character to be first to jump in against a god-slaying monster. You know full well it wasn't going to end well, but still, you bit down and you charged right in. That's always impressive to see. Not that any of you were showing apprehension, it immediately became tactitional, which I appreciate. But you were quick to volunteer.
So, did I ask what my damage threshold is? Like, have my hits been doing anything? I know he's been failing a lot, but is it okay for me to ask what damage is? Because my average damage is like between like 27 and like 32. So is that enough for him to even roll, or does he just pass that automatically whenever I strike?
Well, one of the
is that something you don't want to tell us yet?
One of the big issues that I will say that you can tell from watching this guy every time you hit him is that he's been resistant to everything you've hit him with, which you know from the last time you hit him that was the case. And if you want to know how much absolute damage has been done to him, because Dean, I think you took, besides your fire shield, so you can take off about 20 damage for fire shield. Flux herself is responsible for 317 points of damage across all those crazy moves you pulled. Burnt through your action surges, but that's also cut in half. So you know it's more like 630 with those crits and all those crazy-ass maneuvers you were dropping. But you did force him 3 times. Because I rolled low a couple times and you rolled exceedingly high, or got the critical when I rolled low. He's burned through 3 legendary resistances at least at this point. You forced him 3 times to play his hand. That's not bad considering you're about halfway through the party members jumping in. Keep up on this flow and you might yet break his concentration. And save the world.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe I have more evil plans, one or the other.
Yeah, it's tricky because we've really only got like I think 2 big damage dealers on our team.
3. Flux, myself, and Nimbar when he blows higher level spells. You're great at soaking the damage.
You've become something of a tank and a control master with Alec. Works really well. And for the extra boost, you've got Courtney, who pulls a plan out of nowhere sometimes. It's like, you're doing what with what spell? God, that's brilliant. Throw it. You know what I mean? However, you do know he's got Power Word Kill, and it's the only spell so far he's been willing to throw. And he's probably going to aim that at your character again if he can cut you low enough. It's kind of hard to take you down. You're pretty tough, right? All that extra health.
Me?
All that extra health.
Well, I mean...
You can basically look at any form and double your health, and that's where your health pool is.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it, we missed the most basic of things.
Oh, what's that?
What?
You can use Wish to make yourself immune to other spells. He could have made it... Someone could have wished us all immune to Power Word Kill.
At the risk of never again being able to cast Wish and Exhaustion and a whole bunch of other things. I think that's one of the features for Wish. That isn't a freebie.
Yeah.
But it's still an option. You can always make the attempt. Because seeing him use Power Word Kill on someone, like I say, you imagine for the other characters who have to watch this fight in hyper slow motion. Actually, on that note of Flare, it looks like Straken's moving at regular speed. He moves so goddamn fast. All those extra turns, the DM being very unfair, I will acknowledge, definitely.
I mean, it has like gone like full DBZ now.
Well, it's a level 20 campaign.
Yeah.
You get your chances to flex, and it's gone nuts.
Yeah.
As much as I want to say my guys have gone DBZ, like, your characters... They do some serious damage, and they make it a headache for me to plan combat sometimes.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. A little part of me is very happy that we've come to an end and we're going back to level 1. A very small part of me is like, yeah, but the other part of me is like, it's all fun. Because planning for level 20s is tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Too many small features, too many tons of abilities, and I don't want to outshine anything that hits the board. So
Did anyone else's Wrath of Sardior window go white?
you should still see the tokens. I got 3 on there, and the big light in the background.
It just completely shat the bed there.
Oh,
I got like a missing icon thing. Like I must have just thrown some kind of.
Oh, and I tip my
fit.
hat, Dean. When you mentioned earlier about the grid map, that's what it looks like, old school grid paper laid out.
Yeah.
Well, the world of creation with the power of creation. That's kind of what I was going for. He's standing on the grid like, I'm going to be the dungeon master now. Geez, you guys better beat him or I'll have to stop playing D&D. Oh my. No, but I definitely tip my hat. It's been fun to see it rush through so far. And I will add, I didn't make numbers up. That health bar at the top is accurate. There's a reason for all things.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I still have a bit planned. So, you know, I still got some things up my sleeve. A couple things here and there. But most importantly was my little giveaway to Jillian that Death is watching you all very, very closely. Enjoying this fight as there's nothing left in all of creation. You're all that's left and you're fighting tooth and nail. Death is clapping for you.
Is he looking at us like we're some kind of buffet or something?
Well, all things eventually come to an end. All things eventually die and all things pass on. And that's it. There's not much left to end. So this is the end for his job too, depending on how things go.
Oh man, now I'm just trying to desperately figure out like what's the highest number of legendary resistances we've seen before. I know. I think 5 exists in the game, but like, does he go beyond that?
With the exception of the extra initiative things, because that's a rogue only. All of his abilities, stats, and powers I'm pretty much plucking from enemies who are already in the game at CR 30 or around it. I've got free reign to be a little picky with this guy. He's pretty damn tough. But I also leave his character sheet mostly blank on top of Forge, so that doesn't help you all any. This one's written in a book, so I go, ooh, and I look down and do my writing. You know, you got to keep something secret from the world. Someone will say, we'll never know what the stats were. Alan didn't give them out. But we know his armor class was under 30. It was at least a 28. Because, god damn, Jillian, your dice rolls are so high.
You know who would be in trouble? You would be in trouble if you had the Reddit Sorcerin we were talking about earlier.
Oh.
Here's an AC of over 30.
Yep. That do be jumping up like it.
There is a way for a level 1 character to get a 30 AC.
Oh, that's messy.
Well, I remember John, his first Warforged, he was going for like really high AC, so I think at level 5 he could get his AC to like around 28.
He was up there.
Oh, it was pretty nasty.
But it didn't help him when he was just shot repeatedly by crossbows.
I mean, legit, it's harder to get up there. Unless someone starts giving you stuff at first level, you shouldn't have, like, full plate and stuff. But actually, I'm going to cut the recording here. Otherwise, we'll be going on ourselves in future.